I wanted to ask you about Derrius Guice. I mean, you guys obviously just put him on IR and everything. How big a loss is that? I mean, I know he was doing well when he came back and everything, and you had things going with him in AP.
Yeah, well, it gave us kind of a one-two punch, kind of similar when we had Ricky Waters and Charlie Garner at Philadelphia, the old thunder and lightning combination.
Yeah,
But yeah, you lose a little bit of that, and other guys got to step up, Smallwood and Ferguson, we just need other guys to step up and kind of plug the dike there in that respect. But yeah, he's a loss for us, and it's a shame we got to put him on IR. This will be the third time he's been on IR in 2 years.
yeah, definitely. You mentioned guys like Smallwood having to step up. I mean, what have you kind of seen from him since he's been there? I guess just overall, like how he's done for you guys.
Well, he's a great character person and player. He's got great makeup. His best trait is his availability and dependability. He shows up every day. He works hard, focused, concentrated. Not only as a running back, but on our special teams as well. He's been a big part of our special teams unit. He's playing on all four core units. He's been very solid there with good play, and he's a complete back. He can do it all. He can protect. He can obviously run routes. He can get open. He can run the ball, the wide zone, mid zone, the gun runs. He's a complete back, and he's a mature guy, and he's a great teammate. He's just a good player to have on the roster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess, and also like, I mean, do you see Adrian Peterson now going back as like your main running back then, with maybe Wendell and some of the other guys like kind of working in here and there?
Yeah. Well, I think you're correct in saying that he's been our main back, and he's carried the bulk of the load for the majority of the season. But he needs to be spelled and complemented with other backs. We talked about Wendell. We talked about Ferguson. We talked about got our the guy that we got coming back, our little 25. He's been really good for us. So yeah, we got a good nucleus of backs that are coming back, and we feel Chris Thompson can complement to that. So yeah.
Okay, and also wanted to ask you about quarterback Dwayne Haskins. I saw like he was hurt a little bit last game. Is he okay? Like, does he have the same? Would he have the same mobility and all that?
He's fine. He's absolutely fine.
Okay, so he's practicing this week and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, definitely.
And what have you seen from him as far as his growth is concerned this season?
Well, as any rookie quarterback in the league, I hate to make comparisons to anybody, but he's an interesting guy because he has so many positive traits. And when you're grooming a young rookie and going up against the defenses that we've had the last couple of weeks, like a Mike Pettin, who's problematic. We've played guys, like the Jets, who always are going to give you issues with their problematic pressures. So again, going up against Jim and what he'll bring and what he'll attack us with, is just another set of problems and issues that we've got to have solutions for him. So, protections, accuracies, just becoming the common thread of a rookie quarterback normally goes through in the NFL.
Right. What do you think like his biggest growth has been? Like where his biggest growth has been, I should say.
Yeah, I think as of the last few weeks, he's starting to see the field a little bit more. And so, you always start with a quarterback's eyes and his footwork and his feet, and because his kind of eyes lead the body. So I look at him, I perceive him as a player that's growing because his vision's expanding. He sees the field a little bit more. He sees rotations a little bit better. He understands the different contours that you got to compete against. And then you got to tie in the protection aspect and element to it to make sure that you're protected as you begin your progression. So, man, it's a huge step for any quarterback in our league, whether you're a 5-year vet or 10-year vet or a rookie. You always have a new set of circumstances and issues to deal with on a week-to-week basis because the coaches, as we all know, are really, really good and competitive coordinators in our league.
Yeah, yeah. Are you of the philosophy that the best way with the rookie quarterback is just let him play and get that experience, or would you have preferred, the situation that I guess you guys were planning to the beginning of the season is like having them, learn from guys like Colt and Case and everything?
Well, I think the best situation for a rookie is to get out and play. I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn. You don't have that. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of of sitting back a year like some of the quarterbacks in our league have. But I think this year is kind of an interesting year just because of our circumstances. With Case was hurt in early, and then of course had the concussion, and then Colt was injured as well, and he tried to make it back and played against the Patriots. So, and also, you add in the dimension of not having a good season, which we haven't had, especially early on. So the timing was right for him to enter into the position of taking it over and getting some experience and learning on the job more or less.
Yeah. And if I could also ask you, defensively, I mean, you guys have obviously played a lot better over the past, 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. What has kind of been the difference there?
I think we're really tied in. We're making turnovers. I think we've generated a lot of turnovers in the last few weeks, and we've put our team in pretty good field position. Although we haven't capitalized like I would want us to, but there's been some really timely turnovers. We've given a little bit, we've bent a little bit, but we haven't broke. We've played a little bit better consistently as we got movement throughout the course of the game and got a beat on an offense. So in that regard, I think we're more consistent. I think the rush has been pretty consistent. We're getting heat on the quarterback, so I think that has factored in, and then just trying to just stay consistent, in our back end and our coverage. So I think all those aspects and elements have tied in.
Yeah, and also Ryan Kerrigan not playing, or I mean, is that kind of a big loss for you guys?
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, it's true. It's a true loss because I think people across the league respect Ryan. He's a better person as a player. I mean, he's outstanding to be around. Off the field and what he brings to the community and everything else that he does. As a Redskin, but on the field, he's been productive, consistent. He always been durable. So this is the first time he hasn't had that consistency with his durability. So this is all new to us, but hopefully he gets back on the mend. He gets out there as soon as we can get him out there.
Yeah, he always seems to do well against the Eagles too. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. As far as Josh Norman, I mean, was that kind of a tough decision to, I guess, not necessarily bench him, but take away like his starting job?
Well, we've had a lot of guys step up. Fabian Monroe has just really stepped up into that corner spot. I think he's generated 3 or 4 interceptions since he's been inserted into that role. So that's been really solid play for us, and it's given us the opportunity to put Jimmy Moreland, a rookie, in the slot. So we bumped out Fabian. We inserted Jimmy into the slot. So to give us a little bit more press coverage, man coverage aspects, gives us a little bit more flexibility within our coverage scheme.
And lastly, if I can also ask you, like, what you've seen from the Eagles. I mean, I'm sure you watched, their Monday night game. Carson Wentz kind of had a really strong second half. They've had a lot of injuries and stuff. What are your overall impressions of them?
Well, they had a strong second half against us in the opener as well.
Yeah,
I think they've adjusted. I think they've always done a great job making the necessary adjustments that they need to make to win a game. And I've got nothing but respect for Coach and what they do there and their defense. Jim, what he's brought to the table in terms of their defensive attitude and consistency. They're solid in every aspect. You don't see any weaknesses across the board. They can run it, they can throw it, they rush the passer as good as any rusher unit in the league, and they played really solid special teams. So, usually you could say, well, this one phase is dominant, this other isn't, but they all have the capability of being dominant at the same time. So it's a great challenge for our football team this Sunday.